Well, first of all, it's a true story. And that's the first one. And secondly, I came about it from a New York. It was in the New Yorker magazine. And when I came across it, I thought, wow, this is really good. I could see this being a film. So I put it out, maybe 3-4 years ago to David Lowery, who I had a lot of respect for. I liked the films that he had made. And that was before we were going to do Pete's Dragon together. So anyway, he said he liked it a lot, and so we went and did Pete's Dragon. I knew he was going to have his hands full editing that and so forth, but I picked it up after Dragon came out. I said, are you still interested? And he said, yeah. And so I said, well, let's get on it. Yeah, I guess he was addicted to that way of life, and of course what was fascinating to me was that he got caught all the time. He got caught 17 times, but he also broke out of prison 17 times. So I began to think that maybe he was actually assuming he was going to get caught, but that wasn't his thrill. His thrill was being able to break out of prison. And so that's how I decided, that's when I really got interested. I see, is this kind of a game with him, you know? He loves life, he wants to have fun, he wants to make it exciting. And so he's going to rob banks because he loves the idea of robbing banks. But he also realizes he's probably going to get caught. And so when he does get caught, he goes to prison. And then he gets really excited. He says, okay, now how am I going to figure out how to get out? So he did that 17 times, and that's what blew me away. 17 times this guy went to prison, and 17 times he got out, including Alcatraz. You don't get out of Alcatraz too easily. So I just decided that was just a terrific story. And I thought he was a wonderful, wonderful character, so full of life and risk and enjoying danger, but also fun. And the fact that he never shot anybody, he had a gun, but it was never loaded. So that's what gets the title, Old Man and a Gun. But the gun was never loaded. He just used it for purposes to get his way, but he never used it. Well, I think his relationship with Jewel, she knew who he was, and she knew this thing about him, and he appreciated that she knew, but still supported him. So I think that's why he loved her. The fact was that she knew what he was doing. She didn't particularly like it, but she loved him for just who he was, just the kind of human being he was. So she stood by him when he kept getting caught, and so I think that really reached out to him and made a huge impact on him. Otherwise, I don't think he would have ever had a wife at all. I think there was a respect between the two of them. I think the respect came with realizing that what Hunt was going to be, he was going to be the animal that chased him, and he was going to be the animal that escaped. And he just loved that connection. And in the course of time, I mean, Hunt was only interested in getting this guy. He said that was his job. He was an officer. And so his job was to get it. But the fact was, he couldn't go outside the jurisdiction of his own state, which was Texas. So because Forrest was all over the map, he was even in California, he was in Montana, he couldn't follow him in those places. But if he ever came into Texas, he was going to get him. So it became an ambition of Hunt to get this guy. In the meantime, this cat and mouse game that went on actually kind of drew them together and made it kind of fun. And so I think that Hunt finally had a certain kind of respect. Yeah, keep it real, keep it edgy and keep it real. I'm just lucky that I have these cast members. I'm just lucky to have these colleagues. I mean, I have huge respect for all of them. And I think Casey's proven what his worth. And then Sissy's been around for a long time doing incredible work. You know, In the Bedroom, Badlands, so forth. So, and then Danny Glover, I never worked with him before, but I certainly admired his work. And he and I were from the same part of California, so we had that connection. And then Tom Waits, I just was a fan of his music. I was just a fan of his. And so the idea that we could be working together, I thought, well, this is kind of a blessing, you know. We shouldn't be paid for this. Maybe. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it. Look, in my mind, I'm 30. in my body, I'm 80. So you have to accept reality. And so I've been doing it since I was 21. And that's enough. Excuse me, I'd like to open up an account.
Well, great. What type of account do you have in mind?
This kind. This kind.
You said he was armed.
He had a gun.
You saw him.
Well, he was also sort of a gentleman.
He was very polite.
He seemed like a nice enough fella.
Look at that. Is he smiling?
What did you say you do?
Well, that's a secret.
And why is that?
Well, because if I told you, you probably wouldn't want to see me again.
5 states, 93 robberies in 2 years.
You think you can catch him?
Yeah, I won't lie. I'd love to slap the cuffs on him myself. So I hope I get the chance.
He spent his whole life locked up, except for the times that he broke out.
Somebody should have told him to quit while he was ahead.
Well, you find something you love.
Catch a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone.
I sat down with him once and I said, surely there's an easier way to make a living. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not talking about making a living. I'm just talking about living.
Send out for whiskey, baby, send out for gin.
saraba, 愛しきアウトロー。
Me and room service, babe, me and room service, well, we're living